Welcome to What Humanity Needs to Know. Today, we're diving into one of the most controversial and dangerous ambitions shaping global politics, the concept of Greater Israel and its so-called Promised Land. We'll explore Israel's own statements, political ambitions, military strategies, and how these plans could ignite conflict far beyond Palestine, including with Turkey itself. Stay with us. This is the story many don't want you to hear. Part 1. What is Greater Israel? Let's start with what Greater Israel actually means. In Zionist ideology, especially among hardline and religious nationalist factions, there's an old dream: to establish an Israel stretching from the Nile to the Euphrates. This concept is based on biblical verses interpreted as a divine promise. You'll find maps online showing this promised land, covering modern day all of Palestine, Jordan, large parts of Syria, southern Lebanon, part of Iraq, northern Saudi Arabia, even parts of Egypt's Sinai. It's an imperial dream, one that would require demolishing borders, displacing populations, and endless war. Part 2. The official map. While the Israeli government does not formally publish an official Greater Israel map, Israeli schoolbooks, settler movements, and far-right parties have circulated such maps. Online, you can find them easily. The current state of Israel marked as a tiny, central zone surrounded by shaded regions stretching across the Middle East. This map is no secret among ideologues who see it as the ultimate goal. Part 3. Zionist ideology and promises. The basis comes from Genesis 15:18 in the Hebrew Bible. To your descendants I give this land, from the river of Egypt to the great river, the Euphrates. Hardliners take this literally. And over time, Israeli political leaders have made statements echoing these ambitions. Former PM Menachem began, "The Bible is our deed of ownership." Some ministers in Netanyahu's government sang the West Bank is Judea and Samaria forever. It's a vision of uncompromising expansion. Part 4. Recent political and military statements. Let's talk about current events. Benjamin Netanyahu has openly said, "We are not fighting just for Israel. We're fighting for the entire civilized world." This framing positions any aggression as defense of civilization, inviting Western backing. Meanwhile, the Israeli military has adopted the Dahaya doctrine: overwhelming force, collective punishment, destroying civilian infrastructure to break the enemy's will. This is not speculation, it's documented policy used in Gaza and Lebanon. Part 5. Gaza as a testing ground. Gaza has been used as a laboratory. Israeli leaders admit testing new weapon systems there. Massive bombings, blockades, displacement. This is not a defensive struggle alone, but a methodical strategy to clear land, weaken resistance, and discourage return. Some politicians have called for flattening Gaza. Others refer to Palestinians as human animals, justifying any violence. Part 6. A regional plan. But it doesn't end in Gaza or the West Bank. Israel's right-wing movements want permanent control over the Jordan Valley. Syria's Golan Heights has already been annexed. Lebanese territory has faced repeated invasions. Settler groups speak of a biblical reunification of all these lands. Their goal: to create an Israel with biblical borders, regardless of who lives there now. Part 7. No mercy for opposition. Israeli military doctrine is clear: use overwhelming force, break morale, crush any possibility of resistance. Israeli ministers have warned that they will burn any city harboring militants. Netanyahu himself has said they will keep striking until complete victory. And behind it lies a chilling truth: they believe the ends justify the means. Until they achieve their promised land, they will not stop, and they will show no mercy. Part 8. Where does it lead? Turkey on the horizon. Here's the part most people miss. If you look at the Greater Israel maps online, they don't just stop at Jordan or Syria. They edge right up to southern Turkey. Historically, some versions even shade parts of Turkish territory. Think about that. a vision that would inevitably bring Israel into conflict with Turkey itself. And let me say this clearly, the Turkish nation is not like any other. Turks are a people forged in history, battle-hardened, fiercely independent. There's an old Turkish saying, "Her Türk asker Döger." Every Turk is born a soldier. Turks don't fear war. They see going to war like going to a wedding celebration. If Israel ever pushed this dream north, they wouldn't be facing fragmented militias or divided nations. They'd face an entire people ready to fight to the last drop of blood. Part 9. The Turkish Spirit. Turks have a long history of defending their land. From the Seljuks to the Ottomans to modern Turkey, they have never tolerated occupation or division. And today, Turkey is no puppet state. It has a powerful army, a unified population when threatened, a culture that honors martyrdom and sacrifice. When they say her Türk asker Döger, it's not just words. It's a truth lived by generations. Any dream of pushing into Turkish lands would awaken a resistance the likes of which Israel has never faced. Part 10. A warning and a call for peace. Let this be a warning. The Promised Land fantasy is not just about displacing Palestinians. It's a threat to the entire region, including Turkey. Such imperial dreams can only lead to endless war. The only path forward is justice, respect for borders, dignity for all peoples. Israel must abandon this dangerous fantasy or risk setting the whole Middle East ablaze, because some nations will never bow. Some people will fight until the end, and the Turkish people, they will never surrender. Thank you for watching What Humanity Needs to Know. If this topic opened your eyes, please like, comment, and subscribe, because the truth matters. And the more we understand these ambitions, the better chance we have to stop them before they plunge the world into war. Remember, knowledge is the first line of defense. Stay curious, stay aware, and stay free.